Hello everyone, I'm back with another great history where we will learn everything about Audi. By the way, I have reached my huge milestone, which is 50,000 views. Thank you very much for all of your support. Also, comment down below your favorite Audi model if you have one. So in this video, you'll learn about fascinating evolution of various models and major milestones in the fields of car manufacturing, motorcycle, engine production, and motor racing. And what do four rings mean in the Audi logo, and how did it become one of the luxury car brands today? So let's get into it. Okay, we're gonna start all the way from the beginning, where Audi AG is able to look back on the exciting and difficult past. Its tradition of a car and engine manufacturing extends back into the 19th century. It all began with August Horch, one of the Germany's pioneering automobile engineers. After graduating from the Technical Academy in Mittweida, he worked on engine construction, and later as the head of the motor vehicle production department of the Carl Benz company in Mannheim. So can you imagine? The creator of Audi actually worked with Carl Benz, as we know nowadays is Mercedes-Benz. And in 1899, he started his own business, August Horch at CIE in Cologne. Horch moved to Saxony in 1902 and then in 1904 to Zico, where the company was transferred into joint stock corporation. Now we're gonna find out how from name Horch it went to name Audi. Following differences of opinion with the board of management and supervisory board, August Horch left the company in 1909 and immediately established a second car company in Zico. Because his surname was already in use and was protected by a trademark, he chose its Latin translation for the new company, so Horch or Hark became named Audi. The idea of using the Latin imperative form came from the son of one of the August Horch business partners. The boy, well spoken in Latin, had overheard the discussion about the search for a new company name. In subsequent correspondence, August Horch even signed his letters with the words, "Kind regards, Audi Horch." Audi Automobilwerke GmbH itself became a joint stock company in December 1914. So now let's find out what actually all four rings stand for. So four interlocking rings symbolize the merger of four automobile manufacturers based in the German state of Saxony. So it was Audi, DKW, Horch, and Wanderer became Auto Union AG, then the second largest motor vehicle manufacturing group in Germany. So now I'm gonna speak about each of those and their own history. How did they become where they are now? So we're going to start first with Audi. One of the keys to the success of the still young Auto Union was the allocation of a specific market segment to each of the individual brands in order to create a coordinated model range. For the Audi brand, this prompted the development of Audi Front Type UW, a mid-size car that enabled the new group to make use of synergy benefits for the first time. The principal feature of a new Audi was its front-wheel drive. DKW's experience in the domain of front-wheel drive was simply adopted for a mid-size vehicle. Its powered unit was the Wanderer 2-liter 6-cylinder engine developed by Ferdinand Porsche. The body of the Salon version came from Horch's body shop, and the convertibles were built by the highly reputable Dresden coach builder Glazer. The Audi Front Type UW, the designation meant a Type U with a Wanderer engine, finally went into production in the spring of 1933. A year later, Audi's production operations were transferred to the nearby Horch plant in order to free capacity at the Audi plant for the rising output of DKW front-wheel drive models. Technically revised and equipped with an uprated 2.3-liter Wanderer engine, the new Audi Front 225 was unveiled at the 1935 Berlin Motor Show and remained on the market until 1938. The successor model, the Audi 920, also exhibited strong evidence of modular construction system having been used. Both the chassis, now with a conventional rear-wheel drive again, and the modern body styling were largely the same as the Wanderer W23 6-cylinder model. This elegant car had an inline 6-cylinder OHC engine developed by Horch, while the rear suspension adopted by the DKW floating axle principle. The first examples of the new car left the production line at Auto Union's Horch factory in December 1938. The Audi 920 rapidly became a market success and a hit with the customers. So as we found out a little bit of a history about the first ring Audi, now we're gonna move to a second ring, DKW. So the Audi logo came about after a merger of four companies. In 1928, engineer Jørgen Rasmussen acquired majority shares in Audi. Soon the company merged with Rasmussen DKW, Wanderer, and Audi's old competitor Horch to form the Auto Union in 1932. The merger led to the creation of four interlocking rings. If Rasmussen and his partner were important for the establishment of the new company, DKW motorcycles and cars with their typical two-stroke engines served the lower end of the market and represented the high-volume Auto Union model range. Funnily enough, this emblem was also similar to the Olympic rings, so much so that the Olympic Committee eventually took them to the court in 1995. The result was as you expect. The court ruled that the Audi rings had nothing to do with the Olympic rings, and so the two logos live in harmony. So the biggest manufacturer of motorcycles in the world, DKW motorcycles were produced in such large quantities that in 1937, Auto Union, which its DKW plant, became the world's largest motorcycle manufacturer, building a total of 55,470 motorcycles. This plant-based manufacturer had already held this title before 1928. Can you guys imagine? Already in 1937, long time ago, they already produced over 50,000 motorcycles. And furthermore, important production area consisted of DKW stationary engines, of which there was an incredibly wide program suitable for the use in variety of areas. DKW products were acknowledged to be simple, practical, reliable, economical, durable, and perform well. In the technological terms, the plant-based company provided to be an innovative pioneer in the areas of two-stroke engines, front-wheel drive, and body manufacturing wooden and plastic bodies. This pioneering spirit was also invigorated in the innovative potential of Auto Union AG, which from 1936 onwards set up a Central Engineering Design Office (ZKB) in Chemnitz and a Central Testing Unit (ZVA) for all Auto Union brands. During the late 1930s, the DKW brand provided Auto Union with the necessary potential to counter the expected competition from the KDF wagon, the People's Car or Volkswagen, by launching an equivalent model, the DKW F9. This made Auto Union the only car manufacturer in Germany to have an early response ready to challenge this Volkswagen model. After the war, the hugely popular proven DKW products enabled the newly founded Auto Union GmbH in the West Germany to gain foothold and also drove forward the renewed automobile industry activity in Saxony in East Germany. Now we're going to talk about premium quality and its cutting-edge technology. The Horch 8 became synonymous with the elegance, luxury, and leading-edge technology in German automobile construction. The Horch company was also begun to set the standard internationally. In 1932, Horch's market share in the engine size class above 4.2 liters in Germany was more than 44%. When Auto Union AG was formed, it was self-evident that the Horch brand should occupy the luxury market segment with the new group of companies. In addition, the Horch Body Design Office acted as the central design studio for all the group's brands and laid down stylistic principles for the various models. The modern production technologies in use at the Horch factory became a benchmark for the group's other factories. From 1933 onwards, the Horch model program was divided into large cars with a straight 8 engines, then smaller ones with V8 engines. When the sheer volume of luxury equipment available for Horch made it clear that more powerful engines would be needed, the 5-liter straight 8 was given a camshaft with a steeper lobes, and its compression ratio increased in order to boost its power output to 120 horsepower. Similar measures applied to the smaller V8 engine, the power output of which went up from the original 62 horsepower to 82 horsepower for the 1937 model, culminating in the figure of 92 horsepower in 1939. Extensive model development plans were mooted for the Horch cars, ranging from the new engines to streamlined bodies. Unfortunately, the war years intervened, and only a few exhibition cars and prototypes for testing were ever built. From 1927 until peacetime production ended in 1940, about 42,000 Horch 8-cylinder cars were built. The vehicles supplied to the military authorities until the final cessation of production in 1942 are included. More than 70,000 8-cylinder vehicles left the Zico factory during that period, a figure well above anything achieved by Horch German competitors. So now we're moving to the third ring in its history, which is Wanderer. In 1885, two mechanics, Johann Baptist and Richard Adolf, opened a bicycle repair workshop in Chemnitz. Shortly afterward, they began to make bicycles of their own, since demand at that time was very high. These were marketed under the brand name Wanderer, and in 1896, the company itself began to trade as a Wanderer Fahrrad AG. Wanderer built its first motorcycle in 1902. The idea of branching out into car production was finally put into practice in 1913. Wanderer Work AG in Chemnitz had a diverse production program at a very early stage. So I'm going to explain where they developed each vehicle in a certain year. So bicycles came from 1885, motorcycles were from 1902, office machines from 1904, and machine tools from 1898. And the main thing is the cars from 1913. Now I'm going to speak about the mid-range segment of Auto Union. Within Auto Union AG, the Wanderer car brand was allocated to the mid-size segment, prices between 3,000 and 8,000 range marks. Competition in the segment was very strong and came mainly from Opel and Daimler-Benz, and also BMW was there as well. In terms of production, volume and turnover, the Wanderer brand was second among the Auto Union companies behind DKW. In 1937, 55,000 cars built by Auto Union AG were registered in Germany, a 25% share of the total 216,000. 20% of all registrations were for the models built by DKW. Wanderer cars secured a 5%, Audi and Horch were both below the 1%. Within the overall Auto Union program, Wanderer models increasingly acquired the image of rather dual mid-size cars. In 1936, however, the Wanderer W51 and the Wanderer W25K sports cars with a supercharged engine were introduced, featuring modern Auto Union body styling for the first time. This was taken up and implemented by the other Auto Union brands in the years that followed. The aim was so systematically reposition the Wanderer brand and gave it sporty, progressive image. This development came to an abrupt end when the Second World War broke out in 1939. The last Wanderer car left the factory in 1942, and after the war, no attempts were made to revive the Wanderer brand in the automobile industry. So after the World War II ended, they got a brand new start where the four rings started in Bavaria. At the end of 1945, leading employees of the Auto Union in the old garrison town of Ingolstadt set up a depot for the Auto Union spare parts. On September 3, 1949, this led to the formation of Auto Union GmbH, an independent manufacturing company that was released from its former ties. Later that same year, work began on the manufacture of delivery vans and motorcycles. In their early stages, it was the tried and tested DKW products with their own two-stroke engines that were built once more under the sign of four rings. During the period of deprivation in the years following the war, there was a need for robust and reliable cars and motorbikes. As the result, models such as the DKW F89L delivery van and the DKW RT125W motorbike were developed. They were produced by the vehicle manufacturing plant in Ingolstadt. At the same time, work was underway on a DKW passenger car, which was eventually produced in the summer of 1950 in the second new plant in Düsseldorf that used to belong to Rheinmetall AG and was merely leased at first. From 1954 onwards, Friedrich Fleck gradually acquired a large stake in the equity of Auto Union GmbH. His strategy was to find a strong partner for Auto Union in the medium term. In April 1958, Daimler-Benz AG acquired 88% of Auto Union's shares, and in the following year, the Ingolstadt company became a fully owned subsidiary. A complete new reborn for the Audi 100 forms a clean break. Reliance on the two-stroke engine, a lack of model policy, and increasingly critical press coverage meant that sales of DKW vehicles were in a downward spiral throughout the early 1960s. At the start, we all heard that DKW was leading literally every single share and every single sale, but in the early 1960s, they were going completely downwards. So against the backdrop, Daimler-Benz commissioned the engineer Ludwig Krauss, who was brought as a technical director in Ingolstadt, to adapt a four-cylinder, four-stroke engine brought along as a kind of dowry for the new DKW F102 passenger car launched in 1963. This new car, Auto Union, was launched in 1965 and it was the company's first post-war design with a four-stroke engine. It heralded the start of a new era, which in turn called for a new product designation. This was the rebirth of Audi, and a name rich in tradition. The Auto Union Audi, which was initially known only by this type designation, was widely advertised and became a resounding success. This model line remained in the production until 1972, undergoing a few technical and visual modifications along the way. But a new era had dawned in Ingolstadt in another sense, too, because the company had become subsidiary of Volkswagen AG in 1965. The new bosses refused to allow Ingolstadt engineers to develop models of their own. Their plan was to use Ingolstadt production capacity for building the VW Beetle. But they had a recon without Ludwig Krauss, at the time head of development, and a member of the board of management who went ahead in a secret with the development of a new Audi model. The resulting car, which the group management of Wolfsburg ultimately sanctioned, was the first presented to international press in Ingolstadt in November 1968. Its name, Audi 100. The Audi 100 was the first vehicle to have shaken off all generic links with the former DKW models. The huge success of this new Audi proved its creators in the right. The Audi 100 also helped Auto Union to preserve its separately identity. So in the spirit of these new guiding principles, the first generation Audi 80 B1 series was launched in 1972 with a glittering era but new technical features such as the new series of OCC engines and self-stabilizing steering wheel radius. By the time production of the first generation ceased, more than a million cars had been built. In 1974 saw the appointment of Ferdinand Piëch as a Ludwig Cross successor, initially as a head of technical development. During his era, Audi was transformed into a highly innovative car manufacturer. This period also witnessed the gradual raising of the Audi brand's positioning. The 5-cylinder engine 1976, turbocharging 1979, and Quatro 4-wheel drive 1980 are equivalent testimonies to the success of this policy. So the Audi Quatro, which made its debut in the March of 1980 at the Geneva Motor Show, represented a quantum leap in the new positioning of the Audi brand on the world stage. The expression Wolfsburg durch Technik applied quite literally here. Outstanding transition through a permanent 4-wheel drive and 2 manually lockable differentials made the Audi Quattro perfect for the use on smooth or icy surfaces. Now we're going to talk about technical innovations. Audi's subsequent progress has been marked by a sensational range of technical innovations, fully galvanized bodies, the most aerodynamic volume-built salon of its time, the extensive use of turbocharged petrol engines, the development of economical direct injection diesel engines, the aluminum body, the first hybrid vehicles, direct petrol injection, and the manufacture of luxury class cars with 8 and 12-cylinder engines are just some of the many mileposts that documented the emergence of the Audi brand as the manufacturer of premium cars. So as we all know, Audi is one of the best-selling luxury automobile manufacturers in the world. However, the origins of the German brand are complex and colorful to say the least. Behind the name of every car company, there is a story. Sometimes it is as simple as the name of the family who founded it. Sometimes it is a acronym for a phrase people don't even seem to remember. The story behind Audi, however, is extremely interesting. So that is it. We came to an end for another great car history. Leave a comment on which Audi is your favorite. And thank you very much for watching, and do not forget to leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!